What is this tool I found at the bottom of an old chest? It looks to be made of copper and brass, and the circular disc slides up and down, making the prongs close. Approximately 7 inches tall, and stamped 72 underneath. I thought it would be a fruit picker, but I've been trying it out on some grapefruits and limes. It works okay, but it seems a bit like a hassle. I also thought it would make sense if something was hot and circular, but it's too small for plates, however. Any ideas? It's the setup of an antique sock knitting machine. Here's an image from a manual. This tool is used for setting up new work on the machine when it is empty. You wrap the yarn around the setup and the needle, and you keep doing it all the way around until they're all cast on. Then you can proceed to knit. The heyday for the sock knitting machine seems to have been the First World War, when millions of socks had to be produced. A person could buy a machine and a contract to produce socks. Some companies even gave the machine on condition that the person would produce so many socks for free. Sadly, many of these did not survive over time, often being melted for ammunition during the Second World War. What is this thing I found in my father's stuff after he passed away? Approximately 20 centimeters long, it looks like a skull, but I'm not sure. Do you have any ideas on what this could be? It's the upper part of a Nepalese kapala. A kapala is a skull cup used as a ritual implement in both Hindu and Buddhist Tantra practices. It is typically fashioned from a human skull and serves as a symbolic vessel for offerings and meditation. In tantric traditions, it symbolizes the impermanence of life and the necessity of confronting death to achieve spiritual liberation. Storytime. My ancestor's son and husband were killed by a bunch of soldiers in the Civil War because they refused to fight. Over the next few decades, she and her other sons tracked down all those soldiers and killed them one by one. Once she killed the leader, she allegedly cleaned out the inside of his skull just like this, and she used it in her wash basin to wash her hands every morning. On her deathbed at like 95 years old, the pastor at her bedside asked if there was anything she wanted to do before she died. She said quietly, "I think I'd like to wash my hands." And her last act was to clean her hands using the skull of the man who'd killed her husband. I found this heavy wooden device in a house in rural Spain. The levers on top raise and lower onto a flat surface with a hole at one end, possibly for drainage, with pegs on each lever that seem to insert into holes along the front. Also on top are 1-inch thick wooden discs and black metal rings. The device is about 3 feet tall. Each lever also has a heavy wood hanging down, which lands on the flat surface when its lever is lowered. Does anyone here have any idea? It's an antique cheese press, similar to this press at the Cheese Museum in Spain. I recognize those tins as cheese tins, meaning this would be a press for getting the whey out. It's for gradual pressure over a long period, for pressing delicate curds into cheese without smashing or overcompacting them. What is this small wooden handheld paddle thing from my Polish great-grandmother? So my family has had this for a while, but we have no clue what it is. It's wooden with some form of European writing on it, and it seems to be handheld with a hook on its back. I'd say it's at least 50+ years old, as it belonged to my great-grandmother. I'm definitely curious if someone knows its intended use. It's a paddle distaff from circa 1930s, similar to this from Serbia. I used to have one just like it. It's a tool used to hold wool while hand-spinning yarns. The fiber is kind of tied to the flat part like this, and you can start spinning while holding it. What could this button possibly be used for in the bus in the Netherlands? Everyone is saying it's an ejector seat button for the seat in front, or to signal the driver to stop at the next stop. Does anyone know if this was designed to be anything in particular? It's a phone holder, and the button is simply spring-loaded to push your phone forwards, so that it is clamped steady and doesn't fall out. Optionally, you can also charge your phone with the USB port, which activates once the button is pressed. A puppy is squashed every time anyone presses the button without a phone in the holder, so please be careful. What is this bench thing at a park in Boston? And how would one utilize it? I guess it's a hostile architecture by creating homeless-friendly architecture. Does anyone have any information? It's a piece of public art called Gorilla, also known as Jamaica Pond Ubench, having no discernible front side, only two backs. It's a unique bench alongside Jamaica Pond created by Matthew Hintzman, a Massachusetts College of Art and Design associate professor. It was installed without official approval, and it took the city of Boston several days to discover the bench, and then determine it wasn't a city-approved project. Despite its unofficial beginnings, the Ubench has become a permanent and popular fixture at Jamaica Pond, known for its unusual design. The bench design allows for different seating arrangements and interactions, making it a distinctive landmark in the area. What is this round metallic thing that just landed in our Central Florida pasture? It's a round metallic sphere that was attached to a parachute about 12 inches in diameter, and the parachute detached in the neighbor's yard. The same sphere also landed in Titusville, Florida, in August of 2021. They called the police to investigate, and the local news then sent a photo of the object to the Florida Institute of Technology. According to Spectrum News, experts from the university said it's likely a weight for a high-altitude weather balloon. Does this really come from a weather balloon? That is certainly a radar calibration sphere. Since it's a sphere, it has the same radar cross-section from every angle, pretty important for calibration. It is dropped from an airplane and tracked by radar. They are typically made of aluminum and are hollow to minimize weight and maintain a consistent radar cross-section. The parachute will be made from a non-conductive material, so it will have no radar cross-section. It's just a hollow aluminum ball. There is no danger in handling or discarding it. I found this in my grandfather's toolbox in his workshop. I thought it was a lighter at first, but the yellow bit at the top was made of rubber. I tried to get some light reflecting off to make it more visible, but the writing is just hard for me to pick out what to. Can anyone help identify this? It's an old Ventac dual-chamber implantable cardioverter defibrillator, or ICD, made by Guidant Corporation from 1994 to 2004 before it was acquired by Johnson & Johnson. Similar to pacemakers, ICDs are also implanted devices that regulate heart rhythm. ICDs are designed to detect and correct dangerously fast heart rhythms, potentially preventing sudden cardiac arrest by delivering a stronger electrical shock. What is this spring-loaded tool with a wooden handle? I found this in my grandfather's old stuff in Switzerland, and it could be about 50+ years old. The nozzle unscrews. Can anyone help identify this? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.